Welcome to the first edition of Lions TV. We have the new coach, Mick O'Sullivan, with us, also the owner of Centre for Mind and Movement.
Centre for Mind and Movement, it is.
Welcome, Mick.
Oh, thank you very much.
Today we had our first session indoors. We had some Pilates, some meditation, just a bit of background, Mick, about your business and how long you've been going with the business for.
Yes, we've been going for 8 years in the heart of Moonee Ponds. It's our core product's Pilates. We do a lot of, it's all about health and wellness. So we're into the Pilates and meditation, relaxation therapy, yoga, prescriptive exercise physiology, naturopathy, dietetics, a bit of everything. But certainly a focus on, just the health and wellness of the body and making people feel good, and it's a really non-intimidating place for exercise. So I think we had a great morning this morning, Dicko, with a bit of a run to kick off with, and then the boys did a couple of different types of Pilates, a group performer session on the beds and the mat work class, and then we finished off with a meditation session, which was outstanding. So we've been going for 4.5 hours this morning, and I think we all feel good, pretty refreshed and ready to go.
Fantastic. From a player's point of view, how do you think the players will benefit that from the old-fashioned run around the oval and hitting balls in the nets?
I think at this time of the year, it's just good to get yourself up and about. Tough to hit balls inside, as we all know. We don't really enjoy that as much as we like. We like to be outside doing it. So I think even though the cold of Melbourne at the minute, it's pretty can be pretty crippling at 8 o'clock in the morning, but look, the boys have just been fantastic, haven't they? It's our third session, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and this morning pretty cold in Melbourne, but all ran fantastically well. We're doing smart, what we call efficient type exercise. We're getting it over and done with pretty quickly, but it's intense, and it's giving us a really good stepping stone to where we want to be.
Fantastic. From the players' point of view, we really enjoyed the session today, and it's a breath of fresh air to have a new coach come in and take us through some new stuff. Mick, bit on your cricket background. Where'd you play? Premierships? Talk yourself up a bit. You've told all the players so far, but out to some of the Lions TV fans, you've talked about your career a lot to us, maybe to some of the faithful supporters that follow us on Facebook.
Gee, Dicko, hopefully people don't believe everything you say. It's been in cricket, I think, a long time, haven't I? So I was 20 years at Northcote. As a player to start with, and assistant coach and captain coach, and then non-playing coach. Did the full circle there for 20 years, and really fortunate to have we struggled my first 5-6 years. There were bottom ladder, second, and long days in the fields, all that sort of thing. So it was great when our conditions improved, and we did get some great players come to the club. I think that in 86, 87, the first premiership I was involved with, and as a player, you can't forget it. And having two Australian players playing our side, and we played against it was Ian Callan and Julian Weaney. We had a pretty crack side, but we made the finals, winning the last game. We hadn't been in the four the whole year, and went and beat the unbeatable St Kilda at that time with the Graffies boys. They all walk with the strut, and but we nailed them in a semi. And then we beat the unbeatable Collingwood in the grand final.
Still got a bit of a strut too, don't he?
Oh, he's unbelievable, isn't he, the boy? But we'll get back to him one other. We'll get back to him one other day. A bit of fun about.
Hopefully he follows Fitzroy on Facebook.
I got no doubt he would. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he would. So look, it's always and we had a second 11 premiership this year, and it's something that resonates with you for your life, and it should be. It's a feel-good game. It's a confidence game. There's nothing better than having great memories. So that was a ripper because we're in strife until we man-catted David Emerson. So that's how I guess it's gone down in folklore. It's a bit of for all interesting reasons, because probably the big turning point was a man-cat in the game. 3 for 100 became 4 for 100, and they didn't make too many more after that. So no, that was a great result. And then being involved with, we had a great run with 5 final series in the mid-90s, and a bit unlucky because some of our really good players were playing for Victoria Sakes, who was picked to play, David Sake, who was picked to play in our semi against Collingwood, was called in on the Saturday morning because Fleming had been injured, and he took 12 wickets, 12 for 70 I think he took against Queensland. So we knew he was bowling pretty well, knocked them all over, Hayden, Border and co. And obviously we played a draw, so we missed a couple of opportunities, but having them all back in 96, 97, we won comfortably. In saying that, we had to work hard from 6 for 180 odd, ended up making 404. So great result, and we rolled them over, and that was a second premiership at Northcote, and And I think for about over 40 years, they won one every decade. So they kept the ball rolling. Really loved my time at Northcote, and still like going back to Westgar Street and Bill Laurie Oval, and some of my great friends, as you know.
Yeah.
The people you meet, extraordinary in cricket, and the Gerard Dowlings and the Grant Garners. I mean, you couldn't meet two finer cricketers, but two finer gentlemen. They're outstanding people, and we had such a great family time. And I think I've got a feeling that just coming to Fitzroy Doncaster, there's an interesting feel about that. It's young, there's good people around the place, there's some people who really want to do something with their cricket, there's a lot of respect, there's some great attitude, and it's just something I've just got. And we won a second 11 premiership before we started now. I guess a bit of a dynasty in some ways, I'd like to call it. For Northcote it was, maybe for not some other clubs who roll on, but I think the Fitzroy Doncaster sort of we're really heading in the right direction.
Yep.
So I think it's a great time to be involved, and when the opportunity was put in front of me, I jumped at it. It just seemed too good a chance of it at my age. have a crack, have another crack, and with a group of terrific people.
Well, Mick, you've hit the nail on the head there. There's obviously a lot of love for Northcote, but you haven't put a foot wrong so far, except one little thing which I'm not sure you remember doing. This is the light-hearted part of Lions TV. Mick probably hasn't told us his love of Footscray yet. And very first meeting. Do you remember this, Mick? What I'm about to say?
No. Because you weren't there.
No, I was there. It was brilliant speech. Everyone was excited with the new coach. What he'd said. Got to the end, and Footscray Doncaster came up instead of Fitzroy Doncaster. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I read it out deliberately because I'd written it in the in that type of letter in a presentation I'd put, didn't I?
Okay.
I read it, and instead of, in Fitzroy Doncaster, it was Footscray Doncaster, or whether it was something like just Fitzroy Cricket Club.
Or
it was a bit of both.
Look,
so I made two faux pas. In Fitzroy Cricket Club, forgetting the Doncaster, and Footscray Doncaster.
It must be a good club. The Doggies obviously won the flag this year, so congrats to them. But Stephen Duckworth, now a fantastic player at our club, and is entrenched in the Lions and organises our uniforms and social functions and everything. But one of his very first wins got him in. Arms around each other, and started with Sons of the West. So he got the theme song wrong, so it happens to the best of us, Mick.
That's good. I look forward to singing the song and actually made the words.
No, it's a pretty easy song to learn, so we'll get onto that shortly.
We'll hope we're going to be singing it plenty during the season. Probably should do it down at Torquay.
Yeah, maybe. Mick, just quickly, last couple of questions. Who are some players that early on that have, you think have made some really good leaps forward and look like they're going to be players for the future? Without just going into too many favourites, but sort of as a little group maybe.
Oh, look, I think there's a lot of... We've got so many young players here. Look at the second 11 premiership, and you can't win a premiership without some... And the good part about it, there were some young players there, in that team, and I guess hopefully you're looking at the Matt Vardys and the Jarks Augustines. He spent a lot of time in the seconds last year, and he'd played 70-odd games in the first. But I think the beauty about what Jarks did was go back and learn how to bat. And we all know he's in the best, probably top 3 or 4 keepers in the competition, which is outstanding. So really expect him to come to the fore just as a total cricketer now, I reckon. And so that excites me. Matty Bremner, I think, and as I said, Vardy finishing off so well against Melbourne last year gives them great impetus moving forward for this season. And Matty, going to England, probably good timing for him to do that. Yep. I think, just make him grow, but that response is more. You got to be responsible.
The only problem with Bremner is big chance to blow out over there. He can easily put on a few, but he's working pretty hard, I've been told. So he keeps telling me. So
we have spoken about it on the phone.
Really?
He did ring about his physicality and what we're doing back here. Email to Shawnee Peters. I got back to him just recently about that. He assures me he's moving pretty well. But look, and something else, we've been really. We've got a couple of terrific recruits, I might add. We've got a young player who's now a bit older, Lee Stockdale, experienced, and he's fleet of foot. He's been our standout, hasn't he, in the physical fitness part of it, and he goes back and plays footy at Traralgon. So he's obviously got a really mature, experienced head, and bringing that to our batting lineup somewhere, he's going to be invaluable.
Australian country team as well.
Fantastic. We've brought in Matthew Frith, Newcastle via Sydney, where he's played in the premiership with Randwick Petersham, opened the batting, and he's got a record with Usman Khawaja for opening the batting up there in the competition, which is fantastic. And he bowls a bit, so he's already fitted in fantastically well. You know, and Andrew Perrin, who's up in Darwin during a pre-season, an opening bowler from Casey, he's got good wheels. So adding that to our group, it's handy because we did lose a few. But I think we feel really comfortable, don't we, with the group we've got, and that's only. And there's others too in that lineup. We're really looking forward to, aren't they? Timmy Sheen obviously had a standout, what I call a breakout year last year. Reminds me of a lot of players over the years who've gone on to unbelievable things, you know, bigger and better things. Even made 1,000 runs after doing what he's done, and I think he's going to get better and better. You can feel he's got that confidence now around the group. I reckon. I'm not sure he's had that before. And even yourself. I mean, you still made 600 runs last year, and you've had 11 scores between 17 and 44. So I mean, we've got a lot to look forward to, haven't we? We really have. So really looking forward to, you know, us moving forward. The pre-season's up and about now, and I think we just can't wait to get that first game. But we're preparing. We can't be preparing any better. Really, really, really impressed with the boys' attitudes and what they're bringing to the table when they do come to practice. They're not just coming and practicing; they're coming and doing some serious stuff. So really impressed.
Well, Mick, thanks for spending some time with us today, and thanks for opening up your business for us to come and do some Pilates, some meditation. It's a fantastic setup here, and anyone that lives in the local area, get down to Centre for Mind and Movement. It's a fantastic setup, and our new coach is making some great leaps forward with the group. Thanks, Mick.
Great man, Dicker. Thanks, buddy.